For most of human history, people assumed their thoughts, desires, and decisions reflected an inner essence, a self that existed independently of the body. Modern science presents a very different model. According to contemporary biology, neuroscience, and cognitive psychology, the human mind is not a unified entity, but a network of interacting systems shaped by evolutionary pressures. The human brain evolved gradually, layer upon layer. The earliest structures govern basic survival functions: breathing, hunger, fear, territorial aggression. Mammalian regions added emotional processing and social bonding. Only in the last few 100,000 years did the neocortex expand, enabling complex language, long-term planning, and abstract reasoning. Because these layers were added at different evolutionary times, they do not operate harmoniously. Instead, they frequently generate conflicting signals. For example, the amygdala may initiate a fear response, while the prefrontal cortex simultaneously evaluates the situation as harmless. Human behavior emerges from the interaction, or conflict, between these systems. Emotions, which many cultures interpret as expressions of the soul or indicators of moral truth, are understood by contemporary science as biochemical algorithms. Neural structures release specific chemicals in response to internal or external stimuli. These chemicals shape subjective experience and motivate adaptive behavior. From an evolutionary perspective, emotions evolved not to reveal truth, but to enhance survival and reproduction. Consider anger. It mobilizes energy and deters rivals. Consider guilt. It maintains social cohesion and prevents actions that could destabilize group structures. These emotions feel deeply personal, yet they reflect biological mechanisms shared across mammalian species. The concept of a singular, stable self is likewise challenged by scientific evidence. No neurological structure corresponds to the traditional notion of an independent self. Perception, memory, intention, and decision-making arise from distinct neural circuits distributed throughout the brain. To create coherence, the brain constructs a narrative that links these processes into a continuous identity. This narrative feels real because the brain is designed to interpret its own activity as unified. Studies in cognitive neuroscience show that many decisions form in unconscious neural circuits before reaching conscious awareness. Electroencephalography and brain imaging experiments demonstrate that neural readiness potentials appear a fraction of a second before the subject reports making a conscious choice. This suggests that consciousness often observes decisions rather than initiating them. Culture adds an additional layer of complexity. While biology produces emotional and cognitive tendencies, cultural systems provide interpretive frameworks. Two individuals with identical biological responses may interpret them differently depending on their cultural background. A physiological stress response can be labeled as divine punishment, personal failure, or simply a natural event, depending on the dominant cultural narrative. Human behavior, therefore, cannot be attributed solely to biology or culture. It emerges from the continual interaction between biological algorithms and cultural stories. Biology sets the basic parameters of human experience, while culture shapes how individuals interpret and respond to that experience. Understanding the brain is thus essential not for mystical insight, but for practical clarity. When individuals recognize that thoughts and emotions are generated by evolutionary mechanisms rather than by a stable inner essence, they gain a more accurate understanding of human behavior, both their own and others. In Harari's framework, know thyself is an empirical task. To examine the biological systems that produce mental activity and the cultural narratives that interpret it. This knowledge does not reveal an eternal self, because no such entity exists. Instead, it illuminates the processes that generate the changing patterns of experience we call a person.